Hi, and welcome to the Media Bubble Podcast, the podcast that talks about movies, anime, comics, video games, and whatever we feel like. I'm your host, Karol, and with me as always is my co-host, Fredrik.
Hello.
Hello, gentle folks and gentle ladies and gentle people. In today's episode, we are going to talk about my little project that I've dreamt about.
This was Carol's idea.
True, but it's just that let me explain first what it is. So I had an idea of looking up some of the Nicolas Cage movies that he has been involved with. I picked 3 of them, and I begged and bothered and asked Fredrik to watch them with me, so that we can talk about them here on the podcast.
Yeah, this is something we're calling for Cage Week.
Exactly. It's more like a weekend since it's 3 movies instead of 7. But I think the episode would be too long if we took all of them at once.
Oh, do you want to do a sequel of this?
I'm already planning that.
Oh.
I mean, the good thing about Nicolas Cage is that he stars in so many movies, in so many genres.
Yeah,
he just keep on doing this.
Yeah, he's been doing movies since the 80s.
I mean,
how old is the guy actually?
Oh gosh. Well, let me check up his IMDb page.
58.
58. He's almost as old as my grandma.
Oh.
Nevertheless, we have picked 3 movies.
Is your grandma 58?
She was 62.
Okay.
So not far off, actually.
That's much younger than my grandma's.
Yeah. Wait, or maybe I have a penchant for lying on this podcast. I think it's 60. It's 60 definitely.
Okay. To Nicolas Cage.
Exactly, to Nicolas Cage. So, Nicolas Cage, he is a great actor, inspiration, just an icon. And we picked 3 movies, namely Raising Arizona from 1987, Con Air from 1997, and Willy's Wonderland from 2021, which was last year.
Okay. Can I just say something before we start?
Yeah, go ahead.
This... I don't really get the whole internet fascination with Nicolas Cage, to be honest. Like if I'm being honest, I find him to be a fine, maybe sometimes crazy actor, but I don't really understand why so many people are so fascinated by Nicolas Cage.
I mean, I can tell you what I think but I think generally it's because of the memes. There's a lot of funny memes with his face where he does something crazy, and people share that, and it's just it spreads around. It's the DNA of the soul.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not really a part of that, to be honest.
I personally like Nicolas Cage because he was involved tangentially in Homestuck. I mean, not with his knowledge, but not him personally. But there is this infamous scene in Con Air where he says put the bunny back in the box, and that's been spoofed in Homestuck later on. It's been a plot point in the story. But maybe we can start about the movies. Which one do you feel like you want to start with?
Yeah, we start with the oldest, I feel like. Raising Arizona, which is also my favorite out of the 3 movies. And it's directed and written by the Coen brothers, one of their earlier film. Do you know who the Coen brothers are?
Not really. Who are they?
Oh, they're a famous director-brother duo who have done films like The Big Lebowski, Fargo, Oh Brother, Where Art You, No Country for Old Men. Do you recognize these titles, Karol?
I've never seen the movies, but I do recognize the names. They're pretty big shots.
Yeah. They have been around for a long time, and they have done some pretty big movies. And Racing Arizona was one of their earliest. I'm not sure if it was their first, but it was one of the earlier films. And if we go through the story of, I can also say that Racing Arizona was the only one of these three films that I had seen before you came up with this Cage week. And
oh really? When did you see it?
I don't know, 3 years ago maybe, or something like that.
Because like for me, I didn't even know about the movie's existence before I researched like the Nicolas Cage movies.
Okay. Why did you want to have a Racing Arizona included on this 3-movie list then?
Well, I mean, the idea was that the movies we would see the evolution of Nicolas Cage performance, and this movie is one of his earliest ones.
Oh, then maybe I should have looked a little more on Nicolas Cage. I concentrated more on the movies themselves.
It's good. It's good. You don't know anything about the guy, and I'm a fan. So I mean, a tangential fan. I don't know a lot of it, but yeah, I can show you the way.
Have you seen many Nicolas Cage movies before we made this?
I've seen a few. I know that I've seen Hellrider, and the sequel. I think, if there is one, if I remember correctly.
I think there was a sequel to that one.
I've seen Coherent before. We've seen the movie, and I think I just like by cultural osmosis, I just knew about him.
Do you want to know the movie I had seen before?
What is it?
It was Racing Arizona. I think another one named Peggy Sue's Getting Married, and some more that I can't really remember the name of, but
I've never heard about Peggy Sue, to be honest.
I don't really think that that's one of his more famous roles, to be honest, but he was in it, if I remember correctly.
Holy shit, he was in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
Yeah, here, Peggy Sue's Getting Married, released 1986.
That might be the next on our list.
I don't really think that's... Oh, I have seen Wild at Heart too. Let's see, Leaving Las Vegas.
I've seen Face Off.
Okay, let's see.
But anyway,
maybe we should concentrate on the 3 movies we have instead.
Yeah, as much as I love to go off topic on this podcast, we have a theme this week. So, Racing Arizona, it follows a story about a ex-convict and a policewoman that had found love, and they steal a baby.
Should we go a little more in details?
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's about this convict. That's the right word, right?
Exactly.
Convict named
Hi.
Who constantly gets himself into jails. I think in the first 10 minutes of the film he gets in and out of jails in like 3 times, and all 3 times he meets this photographer whose name is Ed, played by Holly Hunter, and each time he's there they get to know each other a bit more, and they eventually fall in love and get married pretty early in the movie. And these 2 characters are a little bit crazy, to be honest, but so is everyone in the film. So I guess it kind of balances it out a bit, but anyway, apparently Ed is incapable of getting married. No. Is incapable of getting pregnant, and that's incapable of getting married, incapable of getting pregnant, and So they are trying to get an adoption, but it's kind of hard with Hi's criminal record. So instead, they see this commercial on this rich guy named Arizona, who has just born five babies. Are they all boys or?
Yes, they were all boys, and I think that I can find the name for the guy they stole the baby from. Let me see.
Nathan Arizona.
Exactly. So one night, Hi and Ed, they sneak into the... Well, not Ed. She's waiting outside in her car. Hi is sneaking up on the second floor to steal the babies. And he just keeps messing up with them, and then he can't bring them himself to steal a baby. So Ed is like, get back there and bring me a goddamn baby.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I found Ed to be the best character in the film.
Honestly, she brings a lot of like fun in the movie because she's so strict, but she's so grief stricken because of her being unable to have kids. It just like it forces her to like this is the only way she thinks she can have a family.
Yeah, she's really good-hearted, but she's crazy sometimes.
Exactly, like she's a tough cop. And as they steal a baby, friends of Hi, which are Gail and Glenn, right? The two brother criminals, they escape jail.
Yeah, and so they are pals with Hi, so they go to I don't know. I'm not really sure how they find Hi, but they find their house and on the exact day that they have stolen that baby.
Yeah, which is, I mean, pretty spectacular. So when the ex-convicts they stay, the Hive has got a new job at a steelworker company. His boss is trying to solicit him to swing with his wife, which doesn't end well. And then the two criminals, they steal the baby because they finally understand that this is the baby from Nathan, Arizona, so they can ask for ransom.
Oh, is that why they stole the baby? Because I had actually forgotten why they stole.
Yeah, so because Hi punches his boss as he's trying to solicit for them to have sex with each other's wives, his boss pieces together information, like he figures out that they stole the baby from Nathan, and he threatens Hi outside his home, and that's when the two of them hear that this is not their baby, this is the baby they can use to get money.
Yeah, so they steal the baby, and so Hi and Ed have to are chasing them down to get the baby back. And at the same time, throughout the movie, Hi has gotten some weird dreams about a biker who is chasing them, and apparently he's a real character also.
Yeah, like what the hell? Like I was thinking, is this whole movie a dream, or is this just that Hi is having like those psychedelic or like some kind of visions because of his misdeeds?
I don't think it's supposed to be the whole plot is supposed to be a dream, but maybe it is a sick when you think about it, because that vision he had about the biker, it came true.
Exactly.
So maybe that vision he has at the end of the film, maybe that will also come true.
But I think he explicitly said, I mean, at the end they gave up the baby, so we can't really be sure for certain. But maybe
he had a vision.
Exactly, like he has track record of predicting stuff.
Yeah. So, what did you think about this movie, Karol?
I think it was hilarious.
It has a specific style to it that I feel is unique in some way to the Coen brothers, which I have seen a little bit about in their other films, but yeah.
What do you mean with their style? Is it
Oh,
are their
I can't
later movies like tonally similar?
No, I can't exactly say what their style per se is, but I feel like if you have seen two of their movies, you can kind of piece together that they're the same people behind them. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but yeah.
But you can feel that that they are the guys who made the movie.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that.
All right. I feel like, I mean, for me it was interesting because I first saw Con Air, so it was a nice surprise that hey, Nicolas Cage is playing another convict. And but like those two movies are already really dissimilar from each other. I'm already starting to compare the movies. What I like about the movie is that it made me think. I was always wondering, like, why is this all this crazy stuff happening? Is this a dream? Is this reality? Is this like this whole situation just like his guilty conscience trying to like his mind's trying to like come up with possible scenario of what can happen when he stole that baby?
You are thinking way too deeply into this.
But you know why? Because the writer that he envisioned, he came like into the situation, and I think his name was Tex. He also had the same tattoo that I had on his chest. And he also had baby boots. So I feel that there is like this weird comparison, or maybe this not weird comparison. I said it wrong. Like maybe there is this connection between these two. Like if Ed continues to be a criminal and a father, maybe he'll end up as Tex, not a good person, actually incredibly violent and awful and smelly and dirty.
Yeah, there's a possibility of that, I guess. But I feel like the ending kind of starts, or the ending is kind of like giving hope to these characters getting a better life, if you can say that.
I mean, they got back together, Ed and Hi.
Yeah, weren't they always together?
Well,
they had a fight at one point, but they never like broke off completely.
If you remember, after the two criminals left with the baby,
that's the fight that I'm talking about.
Yeah, then they had a fight, but then Ed said that she wants the baby back, but she's unsure if they can be together afterwards. But when they left Nathan Jr. back at their home, Nathan's father talked them into staying together.
Okay.
It was like when they gave up the baby, they were in the crib and in the baby room, which and like yeah, like we all have differences, but like he said like I still think that you guys love each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty good film with some. I feel like it's a very character-driven movie. You see the characters a lot and their quirky personalities. You can say that.
Yeah, all of them are quirky. Like there isn't like a like. There isn't even like a. I can't think of one single like a straight-faced person in this movie.
If because we're probably going to have to move on. If you would give this film, let's say 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
I would give it an 8 out of 10, and I would give Nicolas Cage's performance a 9 out of 10. Because it really felt like he was playing this young, fresh out of jail dude that's trying to get the grip on his life, but it's just like all spiraling out of control.
I would probably give it also an 8 out of 10. It was a pretty enjoyable film. I feel like it's a film that you probably shouldn't think a lot about when you watch it too, but...
I have so many theories. Like, I want to go off a tangent. Because, like, there's so many scenes where I think this is a dream. Like, when they gave up the baby and they stare at it in the crib, the father comes in and it's like, no, you're not breaking and entering. Let's have a conversation about your marriage. It's like, What is happening?
Yeah, as I said, it's a kind of a part of their little bit of a unique directing style, maybe.
Yeah, it felt surreal. But I agree. Let's move on to the another movie.
Okay, next one that came out in 1997. Ooh, our year, Carol.
Exactly, 1997.
I don't think we have revealed our age before, but okay.
I can't believe you're doxing us live on air. Fredrik, come on.
But this came out apparently 10 years after Racing Arizona. And it's Con Air, one of his more famous film, I guess. So can you explain the plot of this, Carol?
Yes. So, a ranger called Cameron Poe is, after being in Iraqi war, I feel like, I don't know if that's the war, but he comes back one day to find his dear beloved wife, and they go out drinking and dancing. But during the night, they're being harassed by some like blokes who think that being a soldier is an awful job, and that they're not brave. So Nicolas Cage accidentally kills a man, and because of that, he's sentenced to 10 years in jail, or I think 7.
No, not 10, but I think his little girl was around, what was it, 7 or 6?
Yeah, so that was 7 years in jail because of what he did, and he was like a model prisoner. He never went into any fights. He avoided like breakouts. He went out on parole, and the day that he's about to leave to go back home, he happens to be on a criminal plane, or a plane full of convicts, a Con Air title drop.
Yeah, when he's going to get back to his family, I can't remember which city it is, but he gets on a plane with a lot of other criminals who are worse than him, you can say.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's people like, as he's going onto the plane, there's like people locked up from head to toe. One of the guy, like Cyrus the Virus, he's like, no, wait, was it Cyrus or was it the guy who played by Steve Buscemi?
Carol, I'm terrible at names.
Okay, so the movie has like a lot of psychos, but two of them. Cyrus is the main bad guy. Steve is the Steve Buscemi guy. He's the one with the little girl at the end.
Yeah.
So which one of them was locked up when they put it on the plane?
Let's see. Wasn't it the Steve Buscemi guy?
Might have been.
A notorious serial killer. It probably was him.
Yeah. So I think it was.
Can I just say that when Carol and I make these episodes, I always watch the movies kind of quickly. Well, for Carol it takes a couple of weeks. So while Carol has these movies fresh in his head, it has gone some weeks for me.
So yeah, I'm putting. Yeah, truth be told, I am making it a little bit harder for you, because it's usually me who puts off on filming the episodes.
Well, so yeah, just to explain why I sometimes have hard remembering things.
Blame it on me.
Okay, Carol, I blame it on you.
I know, I am to blame. But the point still stands. This Con Air is filled with like the worst of the worst. And there's also like an FBI agent hidden with a gun, as he's supposed to like fish out information of like terrorists and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
are you talking about the John Cusack character?
No, I mean, he dies pretty quickly.
No, it's not him then.
No. It was the FBI agent. There's like this whole plot.
Oh,
like,
that one. Okay, now I get it.
Like, you can't put the dude with a gun on a plane. There's no guns in the plane. He will be found out.
He was the only one with a gun on the plane, right?
Yeah, like, of the prisoners.
Mm.
So there's an FBI agent. There's like lots of serial killers, rapists, and Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Oh, right. That rapist also wanted to rape the only woman guard.
Exactly. It was so bad. Like, guard Sally Bishop. So he's like, "Oh, I'm a rapist. I have I tattoo a flower for every woman I rape." I'm just like, why
Yeah.
are you like prisoners hate rapists? I
Yeah.
don't understand. This is not a point to be proud of.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of felt like the most horrible character in the film.
Which is why he had such a good end, because he was like ripped apart at the end.
Like it's weird because we have Steve Buscemi who's a real serial killer, and you still feel like it's the rapist who is the worst one.
Yeah, but in his defense, like Steve Buscemi's character didn't actually do much. Like he was like a funny, oh well, that guy has issues because his mom didn't love him. But he like never tried to rape someone. But like Johnny 23, he tried to.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Anyway, the plane flies. It gets hijacked pretty quickly. Cyrus the Virus is the ringleader with his like boy toys. And the plan is for Nicolas Cage to not leave his friend his friend that had like diabetes and the lady guard on the plane, because he feels like he can't do that because they'll be killed.
Yeah, he also convinces the other criminals that he is with them for a while.
Yeah, he's not, because he doesn't plan. He like leaves clues.
He has a plan with the U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin at one point in the film.
Exactly, and they somehow they end up in like Las Vegas, but also like on an abandoned airstrip, and there's like I'm just thinking explosions. Explosions, shirtless men, explosions.
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas. Like the last scene is so goddamn amazing. They're like flying with an airplane, and they can't land on any airport because there's no fuel, and like they had a wing shut off, and they fly down, like destroying all of the flashy billboards, sparks flying, fires flaming. They almost run into a casino.
Hundreds of thousands of people dead.
Exactly, and then they ram into the goddamn casino, and there's like they escape the plane, and then Nicolas Cage and the agent ride on motorcycles in a chase scene through a tunnel when there's like a they're firing at each. It's so glorious.
This film really is ridiculous.
Exactly, like I even have notes for this. No, they just said everything that I said.
Okay.
Explosions.
Explosions. That describes the whole movie. Explosions.
Yeah, I specifically wrote motorcycle chase, motorcycle explosion.
Okay.
What a goddamn scene! Fire truck.
And so at the end, he reunites with his wife and daughter after what was it, 7 years in prison?
Exactly.
Can I just say one weird thing about that scene? Do you remember that I said I had seen another Nicolas Cage film called Wild at Heart?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that film, Nicolas Cage goes into prison, and at the time he is in prison for like 7 years, something like that, his girlfriend gets pregnant and has a baby boy that grows up, and at the end of the film he is reunited with his wife and the baby boy while he has been in 7 years or something like that in prison. And when I saw that beginning and ending scene, it just reminded me of that film.
Yeah, I mean,
because
it's almost like...
Because that was really similar.
Yeah, it's almost like beat for beat, almost just like... I can see the similarity.
The only difference was a boy and a girl, I feel like.
But can I just say, this whole... I mean, I want to just note something about the movie. Like, I mentioned explosions. This film is so goddamn American. Like when where they're transporting like the convicts onto the airplane, there's like a full row of like police officers on like American bicycles. Then they like, and then there's like a goddamn helicopter chase scene, and there, I don't know. There's just so, please, dear listeners, if you haven't seen the glory that is Con Air, please watch it. It's amazing.
So, what did you feel about the film? I feel like you have already in some way answered that, but
I would give it a a Las Vegas on fire out of 10 for the story, which was amazing, and I love it. Like the end scene when there was like purple lighting and cash flying through the air and just fire and like airplane parts. Amazing. Nicolas Cage's performance, I would say it was. I was worried that it would be similar as in Raising Arizona, because it's like ex-convict, but here he really sold to me that stoic, that stoic like determination that he had, and he also had a little bit stronger like southern drawl to his lines. I feel like.
Okay. So, what did you say? What out of 10?
So his performance was absolutely, it was good. It was 10 out of 10.
Okay.
What about you?
I would give this film 6.5 out of 10.
What? Explain yourself.
Oh, I can explain myself. A truth that I haven't revealed yet is that I'm not really that big of a fan of 90s action movies. I feel like there's too much explosions and not a lot of plot in them, so I usually don't watch them that much, but I will admit, okay, maybe 6.5 is a bit low. Let's say 7 out of 10, because I actually find this film to be one of the better action 90s movie that I have seen.
I agree. Like it. I mean, I agree. Like 90s movies, they're bombastic because they are. That's what 90s movies are. But I feel like there wasn't like any. It didn't feel excessive. It felt like there was a lot of it, but like it was all kind of logical.
Yeah, as I said, it's one of the better 90s action films I have seen, but 90s action has never really been my thing, to be honest.
For me, as long as it doesn't have Steven Seagal, I can watch it.
But I still felt like this was a good movie. I enjoyed parts of it.
What did you think of Nicolas Cage's performance?
He was pretty good. I can say 8 or 9 out of 10. He was pretty good. When you took these 3 movies, I was expecting this one that he would go totally crazy, but I felt like he was kind of calm throughout the film in some way.
Yeah, because he was calm and he was pretty stoic. Like he felt like calculated with what he was doing. Whereas like in Raising Arizona, it felt like he really played up that goofiness of like being a new dad.
Okay, Karol, should we go to the next film, because we don't really have that much time?
But okay, just one scene that I really loved in Con Air. Okay. Almost at the end, when he was fighting Cyrus, and Cyrus pulls out a gun and shoots Nicolas Cage, and he just brushes it off. Like, he gets square shot in the arm, and Nicolas just charges at Cyrus and beats him to a pulp.
Mm.
Like, I was at the edge of my seat.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on to the next film, which is Willy's Wonderland, which was a movie that, when Karol suggested that we would see this, I had never heard of this movie. and it's from let's see, when did it release? 2021.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, so the last one was 97, so this is like more than 20-year gap.
Exactly. And before seeing this movie, like, spoilers, but I think we're pretty we're long enough in the episode to say that it is spoilers. I wanted to say I really hoped that Nicolas Cage would say more in the movie.
Yeah, because he doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say a single word, which is hard for us to compare the performances.
If I'm being honest, Karol, the first time I watched this, I wondered, what is this that Karol has suggested? This feels like some direct-to-DVD film.
I know, like, it doesn't have any fancy, any fancy or famous directors. It's
No, it doesn't. The cast is not as well known as well. It's, with the exception of Nicolas Cage, I didn't recognize anyone.
Same. But I mean,
like I really felt like this was a direct to DVD movie, but it had Nicolas Cage in it.
yeah, which is why it's so good. Like, and also, I could not imagine this movie being like as good as it was if it wasn't for Nicolas Cage. Like, just imagine someone else beating the shit out of all the animatronics.
I probably wouldn't have seen this movie if it wasn't for Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, same. Like, he made the goddamn movie.
Let's say, if we explain the plot a little bit, it's like an kind of ordinary horror story in some way, with some teenagers getting all killed in this dark place, which is this time can I just say that the place that okay, I'm going to have to explain the plot a little bit better than that. Okay.
Go.
Nicolas Cage, which I am looking right now, and apparently his character is called the janitor.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a name.
Okay, his car gets what's the name in English, Karol?
Caltrops.
Flat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he gets a flat tire, and the mayor offers him to a job, doing a job one night, and when that night is done, he will get his car back. And this work he has to do for one night is being a janitor at this old Chuck E. Cheese kind of restaurant. Who
family-owned restaurant called Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, you are going to get to very clear Five Nights at Freddy's vibes from this movie. Like, I think that must have been planned when the people wrote the script.
Like, absolutely, definitely. Because there was, slightly off topic, but there were rumors about Five Nights at Freddy's movies. But, like, they never materialized. And there is, like, an audience for this kind of stuff. So this is filling the void which was left by the FNAF movie that was never released.
So Nicolas Cage get this job, and he doesn't say a thing in the movie. He kind of just has long stairs. There's so many long stairs. But anyway, he throughout the night, these animatronic animal characters get to life, and throughout the film, Nicolas Cage beats the shit out of everyone.
Exactly, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's probably the best part of the film, is him fighting these weird creatures.
Like, there's just been so many scenes where I was like laughing out loud, because it's like yeah, like he's being attacked by an animatronic, and he just like he takes like the crocodile and he just beats the ever living life out of it, like smashes its head against the like in the toilet, and then like crushes his jaw on a urinal, and it's
Yeah,
like
there's no surprise in his face or anything at all. It's you kind of just I'm here to do my business.
exactly, which is like. Who is this guy? What is he doing here? What life did he had to just like, yeah.
Why doesn't he talk?
Why doesn't he talk?
Yeah. So throughout this film, there's also some teenagers, 5 teenagers who are planning to burn this place to get rid of it.
Yeah, so it's Liv. The main girl's name is Liv, and she plans to burn the place because her parents were killed in it, and she was rescued by the local sheriff.
Yeah, so there's like how many are there? Like 6 teenagers, and as you can expect, they get into this restaurant to get Nicolas Cage out. He doesn't want to get out, so
I mean, first of all, they wanted to burn the place.
Yeah.
And along with Nicolas Cage in the place.
Yeah, but Liv didn't want that. So she goes in to rescue him, and soon the rest of the teenagers follows, and of course, because this is a horror movie, everyone dies except for Liv.
Yeah, she's the final girl. But can I say, like, I have notes for Willy's Wonderland, and I've like first sentence that I wrote. They are feeding the security guards to the animatronics. People of the town. Like I like in the first few seconds of the movie, you can figure it out. And then on Liv's friends, list of disposable friends: a hottie, a nerd, a joker, a tough boy, a male hottie, and the leader who is Liv.
Yeah, and who was the guy that had a hot for Liv?
It was the Joker. He was the one who was like meeting the animatronic. Was like, "Oh, I'm not really evil. I'm just bound by this evil place. Why don't you help me?"
He was the only character that I was a little bit sad that he died.
Yeah, but he's dumb. Like,
Yeah.
like the funniest thing is, like, Liv explained that this place is like it was a restaurant used by mentally unstable murderers, and they committed a satanic ritual to transfer their souls into animatronics, and like everybody here knows that, and he's believing on a leg that like yeah she's not evil. So what the fuck are you here?
I don't get why they are why didn't they go out as fast as they came into the building?
They couldn't because the guy who owned the restaurant, he locked in Nicolas Cage inside the building.
Oh, well, that sucked for them.
I mean, not for Nicolas. Like he just kicked down the door.
Yeah, but at the same time, his character has this weird thing which he only works like he beats the shit out of this animatronics and save the kids' lives, and then he has a break where he plays pinball and I guess let these kids get killed.
Yeah, I mean, you say save, but he only saved Liv. Other kids, like fuck them, they're dead.
No, I mean like the first animatronics they saw he fought that, right?
Yeah, he did. He actually did. I remember now. It was the hippo. I feel like if there is a hippo.
Yeah. So apparently this there's also this police officer who apparently Nicolas Cage's character is not the first one who they are placing this at this point in night. They have apparently
the sheriff.
Yeah, they apparently do this with a lot of people as a sacrifice for them not getting into town and killing them.
Exactly. So, because it happened in the past. When they closed the restaurant, the animatronics just left and killed people in the town. So they lure people in with breaking their cars and just like, oh, we can help your car if you stay at this place for the night.
So
Uh,
the sheriff comes and at first he tries to get her teenage kind of daughter Liv out, but it turns that she wants to kill Nicolas Cage's character too, because she's really afraid of what is the let's see, what's the main animatronic's name?
so it was Willy.
Yeah, Willy.
So basically, in the beginning, she puts handcuffs on Nick, on the janitor, so that they can so that the animatronic can just kill him, and then she leaves and waits outside. But Nicolas Cage is just like, nah. He stands up, and when the animatronics rush at him, he's just like, he takes his what's it called?
Handcuffs.
No. Like he just shoulder bashes one of the animatronics, and then like chokes the other one with his ties. I'm just like, of course. Like, what other way would it go?
Yeah. So this film was a bit harder to explain than I was expecting, to be honest.
Can I just it's I mean, the premise is simple. Evil people run a restaurant, and when the night is over, they kill people who are left behind, and then they committed a satanic ritual to transform their bodies into animatronics. Then they need reliving sacrifices, otherwise they'll attack the town. Nicolas Cage is disturbing that project, and he's killing all of them.
Is this really the simple version?
Exactly, like Cliff Notes.
Well, at the end of the film, after Nicolas Cage has beaten the shit out of Willy, let's see, the sheriff comes back and he has fixed Nicolas Cage's car, and so he drives off with Liv, while the sheriff gets killed by, I guess, one of the animatronics were still alive.
So there are two sheriffs, actually. There is Liv's mother, who stays and at the scene, and there's like the helpy boy that stayed with Liv, and he like is driving her to jail. Remember that?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the end with the mayor.
Oh, the mayor. Yeah, so the fairy, the siren, she was choked, but then she wakes up, and then she blows up the car.
Yeah,
and
with the mayor and
the mechanic.
the mechanic in it.
Yeah.
So the only two characters that you meet that survives in this film are Nicolas Cage and Liv.
Exactly. And it's just like, she even gets in the car. Like, I get it, she doesn't have much for her to live anyway, because her mom was abusive and she doesn't have any family left. Why did she still get into the car?
It's also explained that apparently Liv was a little girl, and her and her parents happened the same thing with the flat car thing, so they had to stay in Willy's Wonderland, and so her parents gets killed, but she survived the night, and after that she was taken care of by this
By the sheriff.
Yeah,
and that's why her burning hatred for burning the place down. But can I just say, like, I get it, teenagers in horror movies are so stupid, but like, Liv explains, yeah, these people, they abducted, like, they invited people to this special room where they were brutally murdered, and also they committed, like, they self-sacrificed in a demonic ritual. And, like, at the same time, there's two characters that sneak off into the room in question alone, and they have vigorous sex, and even there's, like, a puppet, and he's like, he's staring at us. Let's give it a show. And they continue banging. What the fuck?
well, if you really want to fuck them.
But like, this is a murder house full of murderer robots, and you even see one right in front of you, and you go and have sex.
Yeah, it's a teenagers in horror films are always kind of stupid. The first thing I thought when I saw all the teenagers, I was just, oh, they are all going to die, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, disposable friends. They're just like meat.
Like the
Meat on
only
legs.
the only character that I was sure was going to survive was Nicolas Cage.
Same. Like I even suspected that Liz would die as well.
Hmm.
Um,
But anyway, I guess that was us explaining the film. What did you feel about the film?
I I have to check my notes again.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote, Nick, please, people are dying and you're playing pinball. So that will be my answer.
Okay.
Out of 10.
This film is not for me, to be honest. I don't generally watch horror films, and I don't generally watch films that feels like direct to DVD for me. And this felt like a film that was direct to the DVD horror film with stupid teenagers, and the only really thing that set this film out was Nicolas Cage fighting these animatronics.
But you know what? Sorry, continue.
Well, what was I on? So I didn't I didn't feel like this film was anything special, or from what I can understand, it has gotten a bit of a fan developing after it. So I understand that many people found this very Nicolas Cagey, I guess. But for me, this just wasn't anything for me.
How
So
did you like? But I have to ask you, because as you said, you don't really enjoy scary or like thrill movies. Did you feel scared watching this movie?
No.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with these kind of horror films is that if I see a horror film like this, I'm always kind of thinking, oh, these teenagers are so stupid.
I mean, true, but that is a genre staple.
Yeah.
But okay, if you were like, what would you do if you were in a Willy Wonderland situation?
I would try to get out.
I mean, but you wouldn't split
wouldn't
from the group.
I wouldn't in the middle of this horror park suddenly have a think, oh, this is a great place to have sex.
Yeah, I agree. Even though like it was a vibe, it was a dumb vibe.
So I would give this film I don't know, a 4 out of 10 maybe.
And Nicolas Cage's performance, because like as we said, he never even said a word.
9 out of 10.
I agree, 9 out of 10. Even though he was quiet as a mouse, he was a ruthless badass.
It's weird because I just remember him having one face throughout the whole film, and still, yeah.
But you know what? I have to say it, because like I'm glad that Nicholas didn't say anything, because the dialogue in this movie, it wasn't great. It felt like when the disposable friends were introduced, they had like this banter about like, open the door, oh it opens, no, just like, why are you chained? It felt very like cliche. Everything felt a bit cliche. So I think that it actually enhanced his performance, because like he didn't have to be part of this cliche.
If I'm going to be honest, this film would have been a 2 or 1 out of 10 for me if it wasn't for Nicolas Cage in it.
Yeah. Okay, but one good point that I have to say, I like the designs of the animatronics. Willy is a good design.
Every time I looked at them, though, I always thought of Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But I guess there were creative designs. I didn't like that one of them was an ostrich, because I have a weird thing that I'm really scared of ostrich.
really? I never know that. I never knew that.
They are a giant bird who is freakishly fast and has big claws on its feet, and it looks so ugly as well.
They're not ugly. Like, okay, I can agree that not only they're fast, they're also dangerous because they have like massive talons. But they're also cool. Like they lay big old eggs that you can then decorate.
No, I am. Ostrich are like an animal that I don't like at all.
When I was young, my father had a mechanics garage, and right beside it there was an ostrich farm.
Oh,
Yeah, so I actually so I'm not afraid of ostriches because I've seen them like a lot when I was little.
I don't know. No, it's yeah. I don't like ostrich at all. I just feel like with its size, its speed, its claws, its the fact that it's a bird and birds are kind of aggressive at times. I don't know. I just don't like ostrich.
Yeah, I mean I see your points. They're not. I wouldn't have an ostrich as a pet. But then I could ride it to work.
Yeah, sure you can.
And then I will be hauled into jail for animal abuse. Well, so general thoughts.
You never gave a 1 out of 10.
A what? What I never gave?
You never gave a 1 out of 10.
Oh, for this movie,
Yeah.
with Nicolas Cage in it, I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Without it, probably a 2. And I liked the designs of the characters, of the animatronics. I liked that it was just so gosh damn silly, brutally killing all these animatronics. But the rest of the movie, I wasn't really taken by it. The violence was fun, because it was dumb violence.
Yeah.
Like at one point, like the janitor just has to beep beep beep. Oh, time for break. Gives knife to live. Have fun, protect yourself. I'm gonna go play pinball. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
Well, but I feel like I think we have covered all of the movies extensively. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like we're done.
Yeah. So, listeners, if you agree, disagree, or want to give us your opinions, do not hesitate to leave a comment or tweet at us at Media Bubble Podcast on Twitter, which is now owned by Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Musk Twitter. Anyway, thank you all for listening, and I have no. I don't have glasses. I can't read the outro. As always, thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we have. Don't forget to follow, hit that bell icon, or follow us on socials like Twitter. See you again in the next episode, and have a wonderful day.